watch a lot of YouTube. Some people might say too much, but as a reader and YouTube addict, whenever I watch a video and someone mentions a book, my brain latches onto it. So let's see if these two YouTubers have good taste.
I went into Barnes & Noble and the first book that I saw that I was like, that looks like tea, was called The Secret History by Donna Tartt. And listen, bitch, what a book to start on. This is the best book I've ever read. This is the best book I've ever read.
Brittany Broski and I do not align in our reading tastes, and I've known this for a while. When I started really watching her, she was talking a lot about a certain series and author. So for that reason, I've always been a little nervous to get into The Secret History based off of her recommendation alone. When I first saw this video, the only book that I'd read from the video was Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which Brittany talks about. Not very positively, I'll say. And since that video, I've only seen her talk about Sarah J. Maas. I'm not a fan of Sarah J. Maas. In fact, actually, our thoughts on Ninth House and Sarah J. Maas are fully flipped. Specifically, the talk about the female main characters. Here's some of Brittany's thoughts on Ninth House.
This shit was promising, but it was all over the place. And then it was just confusing all over. It was like cornball in places, like so cheesy, corny, like girl boss, I'm different, I'm blah, blah, blah. And I just don't appreciate that. I think that you can paint a woman, especially a lead woman, in such a cooler light than that.
And then how she feels about Sarah J. Maas main characters.
I started reading Throne of Glass. Sarah J. Maas is my god. My god. So I started Throne of Glass, and holy shit, this is the thing that I love about fucking Sarah J. Maas, bitch. She can write the fuck out of a lead woman. She writes the fuck out of a lead woman. And she perfectly characterizes these lead women as strong, independent, self-sufficient, but not in a cringy girl boss way, in a way that's like truly the power of the divine feminine.
So to put it simply, we do not align in these opinions at all. So I'm quite nervous going into The Secret History based off of this. We just simply don't agree. So let's see how this book goes. Oh, this is going to be really annoying with the focus. Okay, I'm trying to make this a little aesthetic. Let's just jump right into this. Okay, maybe this lighting isn't the best decision. I might have to turn on my light. I was trying to set a vibe. Oh my god. Okay, we're fine now. I was trying to set a vibe. It is almost 11 p.m. I got home like an hour ago. I need to update you guys. I started reading The Secret History 2 days ago. I think I agree with Brittany. Unfortunately, she's kind of right. Let's just talk about it. I needed to come in now because I'm literally just about like halfway through. I hit book 2, but I'm a little bit past that. Like I'm almost 300 pages in. And yeah, let me elaborate on yeah. I'm just really feeling it. Like, I'm really getting into the story and the writing. And, like, yeah, Donna Tartt, like, kind of rambles on at points. And just before the end of book 1, I was getting a little bored, but it was, like, a lot of just, like, I'd say repetitive. I don't think it was repetitive, but it was a lot of, like, explaining stuff that was going on rather than, like, seeing a scene, which just, like, wasn't my favorite part. Like, I'm much more engaged when we're, like, actually in a scene rather than Richard just kind of explaining what's been happening. Like, I want to be in the moment with them, even though technically it's all Richard like recalling these moments, all of this story, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm just truly a dark academia girl. I think I just picked up the exact right time to read this because I tried reading it 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, got 200 pages in, and then I stopped. I had to return the book to the library, so that's really like the main reason. I mean, now I own it. My mom bought it and then I stole it from her. Sorry, mommy, thank you. But I also like was not fully in it. I liked the writing. I thought the writing was good. I think Donna Tartt is a really expertly I'm trying to say that Donna Tartt is an expert at her craft. She's a really, really great writer. I think she embodies and encapsulates the character of Richard so well, but also portrays his character so well, where he really feels like fully dimensional and like a real person that you're reading from. I want to say I love reading from unlikable characters, but it's just really enthralling, the dynamics between these characters and in this friend group. And I think it was such a smart decision to have the murder be known, like literally right off the bat. Because even despite that, she builds up so much that when stuff starts happening, I literally was like still somehow surprised. Like I wasn't surprised, but I was like, wait, it's happening. I can't tell if this is gonna be 5 stars though. It's definitely picked up a lot more now. Yes, wait. Oh yeah, so anyway, I think I'm just gonna keep reading and then I will come back with more to say. Brittany Broski, you might be right on this one, but only this one. Boy, do I have an update for you. I finished The Secret History. It's actually been a little bit of time. It's been a little bit of time. I finished this like a week ago. So I have a few things to talk to you guys about. But I finished this about a week ago and I really liked it. I really, really, really liked it. I potentially loved it. I'm between a 4.5 and a 5 still. I kind of have been grappling with it. Like I feel like it kind of is a 5-star read for a few reasons, which I guess I'll just get into. But I'm thinking it potentially is a 5, but it's a totally different feeling from other 5s that I've had. I'll just talk about it. Last time we spoke, I think I was about halfway through. I obviously completed the other half of this book, and I think I potentially liked the first half of the book more than the second half, but I really appreciated a lot of the stuff in the end as well. There were a lot of things that I came to realize about the characters, a lot of things that like clicked into place for me about these characters, their dynamics, why things happened the way they happened. And I find this to be such a fascinating story with really fascinating characters, because I feel like not to be like I'm different, I feel like I expected, if this were to be a 5-star for me, that I would feel the way that a lot of other Secret History like mega fans feel, where they love the characters. Obviously they know that they are not good people, but they like deeply love the characters and I don't know, ship them and all of that. But I'm very much not in that boat, and I know that you don't have to feel that way to love this book. It's a really different and conflicting feeling that I have, where I really love this story, but genuinely because I find the story fascinating and the unfolding of events. It's almost like a tragedy, which is what I think dark academia kind of stories are. I mean, you're not gonna have a happy ending with this. Oh my god, I actually just remembered what happened in the end. I think I forgot for a second how things actually unfold. I think I really liked, wow, I am not doing a good job of formulating my thoughts, but I haven't finished a single one of these thoughts, have I? Okay, let me get myself together a little bit. Okay, I just kind of gathered my thoughts about The Secret History, because now I think I have a better understanding of what I want to say, and I'm not going to dilly-dally too much because my brain was going crazy. But I did write down a little bit of what I want to say. So maybe I might just like read what I wrote down, because if I don't write things down, nothing makes sense. Sure. I'll just say this. So as I was reading the book, I was very fascinated by the characters, seeing how real they are while also how kind of absurd they are, because they're not necessarily unrealistic in how extreme they are in their actions and their personalities. I think it was done really expertly by Donna Tartt to make them feel like real people that are doing the most, basically. So I wrote, they're pretentious and classist and bad people in a way where you cannot sympathize with them, but you almost understand them. Donna Tartt just shows you exactly why they do the things they do, but it's not like it's excused, it's just explained. you kind of understand their background, their relationships with each other and within their lives that led them to this group of people and to the decisions that lead to the tragedy of this whole story. Like, basically, this is why the characters are the way they are, and it makes total sense why they would be that way, why they would act the way they do, but ultimately, they are still trying to justify their actions to themselves. To me, even though it's spelled out why they did it, and it is not justified but understood, they, and I do think all of them, not just Richard, because I feel like initially I was thinking just Richard is still trying to justify what happened to himself. I think they all kind of are, except for maybe one of them. They're trying to exonerate themselves from the shackles of their decisions. So that's what I wrote down. And that was my thought process, specifically about the characters. I did already kind of say this, but I think Donna Tartt's writing is really great. I don't know if I'll read anything else of hers, but I think the big thing that has me grappling between 4.5 and 5 is that I kind of can't stop thinking about this. Mainly, I can't stop thinking about how I felt while reading it. I think it just really did suck me in. And another thing that I've been thinking about is I wish there was a movie, not because I don't think an adaptation of this would do it justice, but I wish there was a good adaptation of it, because I want to like relive this story without rereading the book immediately. Though I did kind of want to like get back and start the book over almost right after finishing it. And I do see myself rereading this in the future. I think my love and appreciation for this book is very like bubbling under the surface. It's not like a very outward love, but it's one that just like, I feel like it's a quiet love or like a building appreciation for this book. A building obsession, potentially, as well. I could see myself rereading this. This is my final tabbing of the book. So, that's how I felt about The Secret History. I still can't decide if it's 4.5 or 5. I do, like, think there were moments where I was not as in it. Like, my mind maybe was wandering a little bit while I was reading certain parts, because Donna Tartt does, or at least Richard, I know it's Donna Tartt, but, like, Richard, he talks a lot about things. He talks a lot. Some things might have dragged just a touch. I don't really like to say that it dragged, because I think everything in this book is important to the story, and I really would like to see how I feel on a reread. Brittany Broski, you did kind of eat with this one. Overall, we very much still differ in our favorites. Period. There we go. Let's talk about the next book.
I'm in a really big science fiction phase because I'm reading the next book in my favorite series, Red Rising. If you're looking for a good sci-fi book, I will recommend that to the day I die.
First things first, this book and the introduction to this book is not going to have as much of the research and back and forth comparisons that I had with Brittany and our tastes in books, because like she's talked so much about the books she reads. She also just reads a lot now, so I am able to specifically pick out books that we've both read. This next one and this next YouTuber, I don't have all of that. Next YouTuber that I am going to be comparing my taste with is Dylan Is in Trouble. And here's the thing. Here's a couple of differences. Brittany I've watched on and off over the past couple of years. But Dylan, I've watched this man for 7 years probably. Probably 7 years. I think it's been 7 years. He's talked about books every now and then on his channel. In recent years, he has talked about Red Rising as his favorite book / his favorite series. Like, I don't know if this first book is his favorite book, but this is his favorite series, and he has very, 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 very much emphasized that. I have started reading it. It's not going very well. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I did just talk so much about The Secret History, and I am only about 100 something pages in. I have been listening to the audiobook for the past 100 pages, and I have not been enjoying that journey. I have to say, let me just be real. Let me actually just be real about it. I think this is actually really annoying so far. I find Darrow, the main character, a nothing burger. He's truly nothing interesting. There is nothing to like about him. He is so basic. He's so like 2013 main character energy in the worst way possible. This feels like Pierce Brown saw the YA dystopian craze, said, I can do it better, and then just did the same thing, but like edgier. Like, I'm trying to be cool. And it is so... I don't like it. I don't like it. Darrow is a Mary Sue. Fully a Mary Sue. He is just able to do things. He is somehow smart, even though his upbringing or there are like a couple things that might explain it. Also, I actually haven't returned to this in a couple days. It's been a couple days since I read it, so I feel like it's already starting to flitter away from my mind, flitter out of my mind. Don't know if those are words. It's starting to leave my memory because I don't want it to be there, actually. That's one thing. I don't find Pierce Brown's writing to be anything interesting or special at all. I find it to be pretty basic. I actually find it to be pretty dry. I really don't love the sci-fi made up cursing that we have going on. As I was starting the book, I texted my best friend and I said, if this man says bloody damn one more time. Yeah, so that's annoying. I mean, I guess this isn't a spoiler. So what this book is about is there's this society. It is set in the distant future where humans are inhabiting Mars or something, and society is split up into colors, like factions and districts. And they're different colors, obviously. There are reds, there are golds. Those are the main ones that we care about. And then there are a bunch of other colors that aren't explained. We don't really explain what the different colors are, how many of them there are, what they all mean or do. There's a little bit of like explaining, like I think greens are kind of like medics in a way. I don't know. And this world building is just not very good. One heart-pounding ride. No, there's no tension. I don't think there's any tension or stakes. Anyway, let me finish what this is about. Basically, yes, there are reds, golds, different levels of society, and our main character, Darrow, is a red, and he's a hell diver or something, and he's basically like in the mines. I don't know if it's the mines, but it feels like the mines. Reminiscent of Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games. Yeah. Suzanne did it way better. I think, oh my god, okay, yeah, let me talk about that in a second. So, yeah, the beginning of this book is basically that Darrow is in his red society. He's pretty comfortable there. He's living life how it's handed to him, and that's okay with him. He's married. He's 16. For some reason in the society, 16-year-olds are like, they get married for some reason. His wife is telling him that they're all slaves to the Golds or like the other peoples. And he's like, I don't care about rebelling. That's not who I am. Not that he says that in particular, but like that's who he is. He's just there going along with what he's given. And then his wife takes him somewhere that they're not supposed to go. That's like off limits to show him the beauty of the world. And then they get caught and then they're executed and his wife dies, but he doesn't. He's taken to kind of infiltrate the Gold Society. They turn him into a Gold, which I don't understand why that's a thing that's possible. Also don't really fully understand why the reds and the golds are like actually physically different. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't like this book. And his wife was the most obvious. Oh my god, it was so obvious that she was just going to be a plot device to push along his story, and that was so boring, and I cared nothing about their relationship. I still care nothing about their relationship, like him talking and like missing his wife and like talking about how much he loved her while also finding this other woman attractive. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. I'm sure there's going to be a romance at some point and you're going to find your like new love, but like how am I supposed to think that you were so deeply in love with her? Obviously, I guess you're 16, so it's like not that deep. Like you were only 16. That stopped recording when I was in the middle of talking. Yeah, I was just basically saying they're only 16. Yeah, anyway, I'm not liking this book. It's kind of how I feel about ACOTAR, where it's like I started reading it and I was like, nothing about this is making me care about the characters or pulling me in to care about anything of what's happening. Characters, plot, any of it. I'm not like immediately drawn to these characters and the story. Then I see people talk about it and starting to read these series and they're like, I'm only 50 pages in, but I love this so much. And I'm like, how? I don't get it. I'm gonna stop now because I've been rambling on way too much and trying to like gather my thoughts in a way that don't know if it worked, but this isn't going very well and I can't decide if I want to keep listening to the audiobook or if I'll try to read it physically. I'll finish it, but begrudgingly. I'm sorry guys. Here's the update. I'm DNFing Red Rising. I can't force myself to get through the rest of this, and I also can't force myself to care. Sorry, Dylan. You're not alone in loving this series, but I am certainly not a part of that at all. I made it to over 200 pages in, around 215-ish, something like that. I did continue listening to the audiobook, and I just, like, respectfully disrespectfully, actually. I didn't care about anything else that was happening. Nothing has really changed about what I said before. I went on a whole rant to my cousin last night about how much I don't like this book and how much I could not be bothered to give it a shot, because I already, like, I don't want it. So predictable, so formulaic, so trying too hard to be cool. And that's like the big thing. It's just trying so hard to like do something cool and interesting and different while also doing all of the same things that we know and have loved but don't love it here. I think I started saying this in the last clip, but there's just no tension in anything that happens in this book, because I just know Darrow's gonna come out fine, or he's gonna come out doing something so cool and impressive, and it's just not impressive to me. Nothing that happens in this book is impactful to me whatsoever. I don't like this book. I have no interest in continuing the series or even just continuing this book. I'm not interested in what Pierce Brown is offering up. I can't. Guys, I can't do this. No more, please. I'm so glad I paid $2 for this on the side of the street and I did not pay full price for this, and I could just put this in a little free library somewhere. I don't recommend this book. If you've read it and you've loved it, I'm happy for you. So it works for some people. I think if you like ACOTAR, you'll probably like Red Rising. I feel like these two books are in the entirely same boat. So that is it for this video. Those are the two books that I decided to read. We got one practically 5-star and one major DNF. Like, there are DNFs that are like not that awful. This is a DNF. This would be probably 1 star if I finished the book, because I don't care. It's not for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I'm so glad I finally got to these books and got them off my TBR, because whoo, did I find out some things about myself with these two books. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one.